Hey guys, hope you're all well. Right, back on Dan's bike again. So today I'm going to do a bit of metal finishing because some of this bike is going to be sort of bare metal finish and clear coat, just some of it. You'll see how it's all going to turn out as we progress colours and things like that on different parts of the bike. But to start with, I'm going to do the dummy oil tank. So at the minute it's all roughed out. We've got a few bits to clean up on here with grinding marks and stuff. Obviously I want to try and get it where we've got minimal grinding marks on there and get a nice finish for clear coat really. But at the minute, let's have a closer look. As you can probably see, we've got all these grinding marks here. I can feel a few bits of welding spatter on there. It's obviously got caught up while it's been sat by something, which is not an issue. So we'll start working on these first. And this sharp edge we've got here, I shall get a tiny bit of a radius on there. It's just a bit better for the powder coating. So this side's got a bit more of a radius on there. So I'll get both sides like that. It's also got, I don't know if you can see that. Probably there, yeah, you can see that. It's got a few little pinholes in there, look. And sometimes they can be a bit of a pain to weld over, believe it or not. So that could be a couple of things. It could have been just some contamination on the metal as I've welded it, or it could be down to some stupid idiot not turning the gas on. Don't know who that'd be. I don't know. I'll have to find out who it is. Anyway, with these pinholes, you can try and weld over them, but sometimes they'll just reappear. You'll grind your weld back and they'll still be there. So the best thing to do with them, which I have found over time, is drill them, make them deeper, and the weld will actually take a lot better. Obviously, if this was being painted, you could put a tiny dauber filler in there and stuff like that, and it's easy to cover up. But as this is being bare metal and clear coat, we need them gone and some metal in their place. So I'm going to drill them out first and try a bit more weld on them. So just a tiny drill start with and see how that goes. What's that? That's probably 3mm. Use the pinhole like a centre punch mark and drill into them. Obviously don't have to go all the way through. I don't know if you can see that, but there's several there. That was the biggest one. Looks like we've got a couple up here as well. So yeah, we literally drill into as many as we can get to. We'll see how that goes. There's a few really small ones here, but hopefully running a bit of weld round here will bury them ones. We'll soon find out. Let's see if there's any more while we're at it. I think that's about it. I've got a few deep score marks here from the grinding, which we'll dress out. We're going to open this hole up for the ignition. Let's weld these up and see how we go. That's better. They're gone. Right, let's go for some of the marks on this. I don't know if you can see them. There's a few deep gouges off the grind around here. And one on top there. Right. Usual trick on this, we use the little void there so it follows the radius of the tube. And get that spatter off there. Right, next we'll take, kick the camera. Next we'll take these grinding marks off. As you can see, there's like little flats in there which we'll blend off. Starting to come out. It's difficult to see what the camera's picking up or not. You still see a bit of a scar there. But we'll just keep working around that till it's all gone. Right. Been around pretty much most of it with the belt and dragged most of the grinding marks out. Saying that, I keep still spotting them. But I'll get there. I'll gradually get around it all. But I'm going to go over now with the DA, which is P40 to start with. That's quite aggressive, but any remaining marks, it should drag them out. Then we'll work our way down the grades a bit, and then we'll get it on the Scotch-Brite wheel. And hopefully that'll be a nice finish then to be able to lacquer it. Anyway, let's do a bit with this. So as you can see that drag most of the grinding marks out now. And glancing over with this, it should start pulling the rest out. Right, just a case of going over it all now and getting it all to that finish. And then we'll take it to the next stage after that. Okay, gone over most of it with the DA. There's still a few score marks from the grinder. I don't know if you can see them. Not too sure. As you can see them in there. So we're going to go back to the belt, see if we can drag them out a bit better, then back over to the DA, and then I'll go over it again with a finer grit, and that should highlight everything that I need to drag out of it, and then over to the Scotch-Brite wheel. And we should have it somewhere near a finish that we're happy to put a clear coat on. So, find my glasses. You can see I've put this pad on the table. It's rattling me false teeth out. I haven't got false teeth, by the way. Not yet, anyway. That's better. Right, where else we got? Oh, I'm going to put little radiuses in these corners as well. Right, let's do that now. So obviously we just cut this hole out for the battery box with a slitting wheel, so the corners are a little bit messy. Although you can't see these when the bite's put together, still want them a bit better than that. So all I'll do there, move that so I don't set it on fire, and just drop a bit of weld in the corners, and then we should be able to get a little radius on there. Really, you should drill each corner out and then that automatically gives you a radius, but I didn't do that. Just get a dab with the die grinder now. As you can see, I run the belt around the edge as well just to get rid of the sharp edge, because powder coating doesn't like sharp edges too much. It doesn't take a lot just to bump into it, and then you've got a big chip in on the edge there, and obviously that's when the rot will set in quite quickly. Yeah, I think with this bike, because we've done a lot of different stuff compared to the usual bobbers that we do out of these Enfields, it has took a bit longer, but it's been enjoyable. It's like when you finish stuff in bare metal, depending on how good you want it to look, some people do like a bit of rust, patina, whatever they like to call it, and some people like to see grinding marks, but I like to try and get it as nice as possible, the surface. So yeah, it does take a bit of extra time to get it nice. That's better now. They've got a little radius in just for the sake of putting a blob of weld in there and dressing it back. Right, let's try some different, try some different discs. I think that needs doing a bit better as well. Just that very end bit's a bit out of shape. Let's try and Yeah, let's try and hit that with a grinder. Very, very carefully. So it could all go wrong if we slip. Right, I've gone over that with the, what was I using? Bad memory and all that. P80. Yeah, P80. Bit worn out. So there's still going to be bits to sort of fine tune on there, I do believe. I can still see a couple of bits here and there. But I'm going to go over it now with the Scotch-Brite wheel, and that will highlight anything that needs sorting out. Anyway, let's give it a go and see what happens. I think it's getting close though. Right, yeah, it's very close. There's a couple of bits here and there. I'm going over it by hand now because, to be honest, it's a little bit bright. And we don't want it that bright. So going over it by hand with these Scotch-Brite pads will just knock the shine off it a tiny bit. Plus when I drop it off at the powder coaters, I will literally go over it at the powder coaters. I'll have gloves on because literally the sweat off your fingers will create rust probably, and we don't want to do that. So yeah, I'll give it a once over at the powder coaters, wrap it up and ask him to handle it with gloves on as well. That's getting there. I'll say still a few little bits on it here and there that we can sort out, but that is very close. There we go. Got to do the battery box next. Where's that? Where have I put that? There we go. So I'll do that next. Do that tomorrow now. It's actually getting quite late. Is that the right way? I'll tell you what. There we go. I thought I might have reduced the size welding them little corners up. So there we have it. You can sort of see what direction we're going in with that, what finish we're going to get. I'm happy with that. I'll say it's got a couple of bits. It's actually got a couple more pinholes there that I want to sort out. And I think I'll be happy with that. Yeah, like I say, it takes a bit more doing if you want a bare metal. Obviously that depends on how you want your bare metal finished. Some people like it a bit rough and ready and seal it up with lacquer or wax or whatever. Some people want it nice and scrubbed. Or some like to see the grinding marks there. I actually prefer it like that, but obviously not too shiny. So next, I'm going to start going through all the other little bits, like the side casings on the engine and stuff that I've got to go to powder coaters. Yeah, and slowly get everything ready so it's all up there, and then as soon as we get it back we can start the build up. At last, I've got to drill some holes in that frame that sat down there. I've got to drill some holes in the frame because we're running all the wires through the frame. So yeah, it's getting very, very close, and it'd be nice to get this down to Dan. It really will. Then I can concentrate on the other two Enfields that I've got to build then. Then after that, I am having a break from customer stuff. Whether I'll go back to doing customer things, I do not know yet. But I really want to concentrate on sort of doing my own builds and selling them on. And I can do them in my time, how I want them. And obviously film every bite that I do. So there we are. That'll do me for today. It's getting late, and apparently I've got to sort the dinner out. So it's bread and milk tonight. There we have it. Another bit ticked off the list and another step closer. Anyway, cheers for watching, guys. Take care.